These are strange times indeed, and it's locked down pretty much worldwide, and it's a perfect opportunity to try some stuff out, get stuff delivered in the post, and just see what the new iPad Pro is like compared to the 2018 version and compared to an iPad Mini. Mini 2 this is actually, this one. Now to be fair, this one is, although it's been great and it's 2013 we got this, it's really started to get very slow. So with the latest software updates, in fact it can't even receive the very latest ones, it's got to a point where it's a little bit more unusable for the majority of things I want to use it for. And I wanted to see how far things have come on. So without further ado, let's have a look at the 2018 12.9 inch and the 11 inch 2020 models. So I wanted to do a little trial with the family just to see which one would be best and which one everyone would kind of gravitate to. So we've got the refurbished one, so it's 2018 12.9 inch and the 11 inch 2020 model, and that one is almost, give or take £20 or something, the same price. So they're very, very similar. And I have heard and read reviews that say if you wanted to go for an iPad Pro, then the 2018 model is just good enough, you know, for everybody. It's overpowered, it's a really good model, and I'm not disputing that, it really is. So the reason for this is purely not technical, it's just to find out what works for us as a family and to do some basic tests for speed, the LiDAR screen, the LiDAR radar camera thing for AR and VR and all of that kind of stuff. It's to check the brightness, the new camera, the weight, the Wi-Fi is supposed to be faster on the new ones, and really if they weigh up to enough to warrant going for a 2020 model. And let's start off then with what I've got on my desk here. So this one here is the 2018 12.9 inch, and that next to it is a 27 inch 4K display, so you can get a kind of size comparison. Now what's really nice is there's something called Sidecar. Now if you want to use Sidecar, so what it does is it uses the iPad Pro as an external display, so you can kind of extend your desktop. Upside to that is that it's great to have that extra real estate. The downside is you have to keep logging into iCloud to get the screens to work and talk to one another. So in that scenario, it's great. I would use it in that way. I think all the family would use it in that way. So if you've got a MacBook or a Mac Mini or even an iMac, then it will work for you and give you some extra real estate. So that's cool. There's no real reason to be looking at the Mini because, to be honest with you, the iPad Pros, whether it's 2018 or 2020, are miles ahead. And they have a lot more capacity for future upgrades of software. So really it's a big step from us to go from the iPad Mini 2 from 2013 up to the 18 and 20 models of the iPad Pro. So the first thing I'm going to do is go and see the family and find out how they're using it, because I've left them on the side. I've said to them, you use whichever one you want to use, try them out, and I'm going to come and ask you some questions. Let's see what they say. Okay, let's see what Charles is up to. Which one does he take? Hey Charles.
Hello. How are you?
Knew it. Which one did you take? Which size one is that?
It's the big one. I think it's the 12.9 inch. Yeah.
And what are you playing on it?
Fortnite.
Okay. And you've got, what controller is that?
Oh, the Xbox controller.
What frame rate is it running at?
120.
Is it? And what's it feel like on it? Because that's supposed to be a mobile device, right?
Yeah, it's really good. It feels like you're cheating because of just the people here aren't great.
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent. So you got an advantage with the with it.
Yeah, big advantage.
And why are you using the big one?
Because this one has a case.
Is that the only reason?
Yeah, and I can just prop it up.
So do you think you could work from the small one as well?
Yeah, I'm sure I could.
So which one are you using?
The smaller one.
Okay, why did you choose that one?
Well, I haven't used it yet, so I wanted to see what it was like to hold. Well, you know, I really love the larger one, the bigger screen, but actually this is a lot easier to hold.
Can you see that in this light?
I'm struggling a little bit, but only because the sun is literally directly above my head.
Yeah.
So if I moved out of that a little bit, then it's okay. But yeah, I can see it.
And what are you using it for?
I'm playing Candy Crush.
You think you like it though? You like the size?
I do. And actually, I didn't think I would like it as much. I thought it would be a lot smaller.
Yeah.
When you compare them, but and I love the bigger screen, but I think this is just easier in the hand, easier to carry around than the other one.
Amelia,
Oh, hello.
what are you using?
I'm using the smaller iPad.
The 11-inch.
Yeah.
Why are you using that one over the 12.9?
I don't know, I just decided to test it out. It's definitely a lot lighter
Yeah.
and easier to carry.
What are you using it for?
I'm making a thumbnail for my new video.
Or what app are you using that with?
Procreate.
So what would be your preference, the 12.9 or the 11? So
Ooh.
the 12.9 is 2018. This one's got a few extra bits. Worth it or not?
I think it is actually.
Do you?
I do.
You like the camera part and the LiDAR,
Yeah.
apparently. I forgot to ask you,
Yeah.
how many times have you played it on this now?
4 times?
And how many times have you won?
3.
No way. Wow. So for all you out there play Fortnite, this is the way to get your win. Where are you in this? How many are left in it?
5.
Nice. Good job. Alright, so we're going to do a little experiment here. So with Amelia on the left, she has the 2020 11-inch iPad with a new camera. And Charles on the right has the 12.9-inch, and that one has the 2018 model with a single camera. So these are both running the same camera app, one that comes with it, and Amelia's one has the other option. So Amelia, if you want to show what that does, that's the difference it gives you from the camera. So on the 12-inch, although it's a nice big image, the difference being is that you can't go any wider than that. So if you do want to take a picture, it's quite limiting, whereas on the other one, you can really see that comes really wide. So you can really see the difference. Yes, there's a bit of a colour difference because I think one's set to true tone, but okay, so really if you want to come back out on your, there you go, so that's the same, both are the same, and again, wow, makes a huge difference. Okay, so we've checked out what their thoughts are individually on and how they're using them. Very interesting, and no surprise that they're all being used. The machines are as good and as fast as one another, almost. The next thing is we want to check out the IKEA app. So let's see how the AR works with this new LiDAR sensor, and after that we're going to go and check out the measure tool as well with the tape measure. Rather than having to take a tape measure with us, we're going to use the one included with the iPad Pro itself. Okay, so here we're going to do a little experiment. First of all, Charles just said his arms are getting tired, so that means the 12.9 inches is perhaps a little bit heavier, which we know it is. We've downloaded the IKEA app, and that one is quite hungry, I think, on processor, and it also uses the new LiDAR, so it uses the AR. So we're going to see how they both compare, but first of all, we're going to see which one can start it up fastest. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. There we go, it's quite memory hungry. Which one's going to be faster? I would have thought it would be the one on the right. It is the one on the right. Significantly faster. Okay, so this is the IKEA app. So you're gonna, how's it work?
You go into collections or browse, and then you can choose from anything.
And this is the 11-inch iPad at the moment. So the latest one with the LiDAR.
And room
We
6.
have seen a slight difference between the two. This one definitely detects a little bit better. Okay. Oh, you created a room. Nice. And can you move those around?
Put them anywhere.
Looks like it's in the sky. Excellent. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so let's do this. So we're going to test the 11-inch one out first. This is the 2020 model with the LiDAR. And I think this is really going to help on the measurement app. So Charles is over there.
Hello.
And he's got the tape measure. We're going to see how accurate this is. So Amelia, if you would like to measure the bottom of the leg to the top of the leg on the table. Okay, so Amelia has got a figure on here, but Charles, we're not going to give you the figure. We want you to tell us what it's actually. So, from the bottom of that leg to the top of that leg,
Okay.
what have we got?
76
77.
Okay. And what do we have on here?
62.
Wow, that's way out.
That is quite a lot out.
Okay, so that wasn't very accurate. So this time we're going to go from along the top of the table to the end of the table. Okay, so it detects the edge. Okay, what does it say?
84 centimetres.
Okay, Charles, what have you got?
I have 90, exactly.
Okay, so let's swap it out for the 12.9, the 2018 without LiDAR and see if that makes a difference. But before you do that, Amelia, there's a really nice picture I saw in here. If you just click that button down there, that gives you this kind of information immediately, which is nice. Automatically detects certain surfaces. So if you point it at the floor to one of these tiles, so yes, it actually automatically detects sizes as well. Okay, so this one is the 12.9 2018. Now one of the things you see immediately on here, I don't know if you can actually pick this up, but the circle is tiny. Where is it? There it is. Okay, for whatever reason on this particular model it comes up tiny, and it doesn't have that other point on here that you can press and it comes up with all the dimensions. So that's two things that I've noticed that are different. Alright, so Charles has just realised that maybe it would be a bit more accurate if we were a bit closer doing the actual measurements. So let's have a look at that. Let's check that theory out. This seems to be the problem with the 2018 model without LiDAR. Not so accurate without the LiDAR. Let's go back to the LiDAR, just double check that. Right, so this is back to the 2020 model with the LiDAR. So how accurate does this get, and how easy is it to get the point in the right place? Okay, right. Well, that worked, didn't it? Okay, I think that's quite conclusive. So the 2020 model is definitely more accurate when it comes to the measurements and easier actually to pinpoint areas. So that's it. That's the end of our non-technical test, the family test if you like. A few things to take from that. So the difference between the 12.9 and the 11 inch. So which one do you keep? So there are a number of things that will decipher that for you, and I would say number one, you have to get the pencil. The pencil version 2 is amazing, really. On both of them it works perfectly well, and there's an app called Procreate which is awesome. We're not artists, but it's such a great tool. If you look at the thumbnail on this video, if you go back and check that out, that was done purely, apart from taking the photograph originally, on Procreate, and then a bit of the using the pencil in there. It's great, really, honestly, truly, believe that. Okay, so the reason I would go for the 12.9 inch over the 11 inch, the reasons are, if you're into gaming, so you can now use it with the PlayStation and the Xbox controllers, it does make for a better experience. They're both 120 frames a second, but the bigger screen definitely does help. If you're going to watch a lot of videos, like Netflix, that kind of thing, I would suggest the larger one. If you want to have it in the kitchen, you know, if you're looking at, I don't know, watching TV while you're cooking, it's perfect for that. If you're going to use it as Sidecar, so an external display, another display to add to your own one, that works very well on the larger one. Or if you're an artist, again, you know, it works to have a larger canvas to work on. However, if you are into more portable devices, or you're holding it in your hand all day long, or for a few hours, or in bed or whatever, and you're holding it up, then you're going to want the 11 inch, because the 12.9 is quite hefty. It's definitely lighter, the 11 inch. If you're using it for browsing the web, emails, that kind of thing, looking at the news, then the 11 inch is perfectly fine for that. And it has, you know, you can still do all the other things with it, it's just not quite as good as them. The LiDAR has got to be a future feature, I think. So in terms of now the 2018 to the 2020 model, LiDAR is going to be used. There's no doubt about it, more and more in the future. So Apple won't bring that and won't put that on a device if they're not going to be using it or developing things around it. So it's already slightly better than the 2018 version in that case. The unit itself, as you saw from the experiment, just opening an app, which is quite a processor hungry app like the IKEA one, it was slightly faster for doing that. So I think, yes, in the future it will become more and more prevalent. It's future proofed. and you know the 2020 version will hold its value for longer. So they're really the main reasons between the 18 and the 2020 models, and the differences between the 12.9 and the 11. So for us as a family, we're going for the 11-inch. Yes, it's the later model, and that was slightly one of the reasons why we went for it, because we want to be future-proofed, but also because it's more adaptable for us for more situations. So that concludes it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.